the bench grinder. Pneumatic chisel, friggin' long enough. Bummer. Really way badass. 4, 5, 3. Hi, welcome to the North Phoenix Suburbanstead. My name is Rich. Right now we're working on wheelbarrows. We've been working on 4 wheelbarrows. 2 of them are from the Suburbanstead, and we just did a quick refresh on them. But other ones, however, like these 2, and you'll see in this video, are from our good friends at the Flight Springs Ranch. If you're not familiar, check out the playlist of Flight Springs Ranch. Our buddy Shane, they are just about to start a new project where they're building yet another house on the property, and they're going to need wheelbarrows. So we picked up 2 wheelbarrows from them, you'll see in this picture here, that were in really rough shape. Broken handles, lots of loose things, concrete all over the place, and they just need to be refreshed. Now you're going to see in these videos that we do restore them. We are making them look nice, like we painted this one white, and we've done a few other things, but we are not restoring these into showpieces. These will be used operationally, but we do want to make them nice, and we do want to make them durable, so at least through this next build process that the wheelbarrows will work as expected. So thanks for watching, and let's follow along with the journey, and love to hear all of your comments in the section down below. Thanks again for watching. These things are pretty crusty. Fail. Ha! What the hell you call this? Safety first. So, yeah, solid. We've got some rust that we'll be inspecting, and this one over here, the 2-wheel wheelbarrow, is actually missing one of the handles. On the wheelbarrow number 4, and this is the second wheelbarrow from the Flight Springs Ranch that is full of concrete. So let me give you a quick look. So you'll see here, it's just from years of use and not really cleaning it out. It's caked on pretty thick in some areas and really thin in some areas. If you watched the episode that included wheelbarrow number 3, which also had a lot of concrete on it, you'll see I struggled in a lot of areas trying to figure it out. Lots and lots of learning. I'm going to share some of those learnings as we get into the 4th one. The key here is to make it quicker work, and the second is to be more thorough in getting the concrete out, because that's really the toughest component. Lesson number one is that these carriage bolts, you'll see right here and here, you'll see that they're pretty corrupt. They're rusted, they've got concrete on them, and it's hard to get the nut off the back of them. And even if I get it started a little bit, it spins the carriage bolt inside of it. So the very first thing I'm going to do here is cut a slit. I'm going to use my grinder and cut a slit right in the top of the carriage bolt, and I'll use that to be able to put a screwdriver into the top of the carriage bolt so I can spin off the nut easier. Let's give that a shot. We're gonna have to cut that guy. I just can't get around it, so. calling it quits for today. It's Thanksgiving. Got company coming over. Pick this shit back up when we get a free day. Things learned number 2 is that you probably watch me struggle with a grinder with a wire wheel, different types of wire wheels to clean all of the parts and accessories of the wheelbarrow. My main objective here is to get all the concrete off, not so much stripping the paint. I'm just going to paint over it. It's going to be used and abused, but trying to get it off. So instead of using the grinder, I'm just dealing with it and getting arms like tree trunks, why not use the bench grinder? So that's what I've got here. This is, if you've seen my videos where I've got the DeWalt 6-inch wheel, the DW756 bench grinder, came with grinding wheels, and I've replaced it with the wire wheel, and that's what I'm going to use now to get all that concrete off of the parts. Alright, so on this one, this is wheelbarrow number 4. This was in the roughest shape of all of them. I believe this one was really a concrete type of wheelbarrow. Anyway, a few of the things that we've learned in the third wheelbarrow we're going to apply here. One of them, where we're going to start right now, is to take off these thicker chunks of concrete. You'll see them, if you can see up here, it's pretty thick there, thick down here, thick on the sides, on the wall. We're going to use a pneumatic chisel to go ahead and get those off. So let's get cracking on that. I really have no idea if this is going to work. What I do know is that we couldn't weld it. The metal was way too thin and we just made the holes bigger. It didn't really help anything. And I'm done with trying to bend this thing into some respectable format. I think it's pretty good right now. This will definitely be usable. This will be the roughest part on it, but I think everything else will be okay. So we'll see how this thing turns out. I'm calling this good enough. This has been a lot of work. We were unable to weld, so we used JB Weld here. And all I wanted to do is just knock down any sharp points or any big bumps. We did that. We're now going to get this thing ready to paint. So calling the JB Weld or the fix of the cracks are done. So we hit the point of diminishing returns, meaning we've worked really hard on this tray, trying to get the concrete out of all the little pits. We tried chemicals, we tried pneumatic hammer, we tried all types of stuff. So I spray painted this bottom part just to see what it would look like, and it's operational. And that is our objective. We're not doing a restoration here. And if you saw on the part of the lip here, we couldn't weld it because it just burned right through it. And I'm done trying to bend this thing back. Again, our objective is to be operational. So we use some JB Weld. Everything looks just fine. We're gonna paint it. We are gonna paint the whole thing here on the first coat, the second one, or actually the fourth wheelbarrow in this series. And again, just trying to get this thing operational. We're ready to go ahead and paint it and start finishing it up. All right, here we go. 4. 5. 3. Wheelbarrow number 4. So we learned a lot of things with wheelbarrow number 3. We tried to apply some of those learnings to wheelbarrow number 4. Some of them worked, some of them completely failed. Anyway, we struggled through all of it, got it completely dismantled, cleaned up, and painted. We are now ready for assembly. We're getting into the final stages. Or you may have noticed that there were no wedges, wood wedges here, which I think are designed really to get the wheelbarrow tray flat. But what you'll see in these is that the tray has significantly warped or bent and shaped, and it's created this kind of a valley. And I don't know if that was necessarily by design or not, but we're going to give this a shot where we're going to put in these wedges. So we bought some little extra long bolts. We'll assemble all the pieces. I've got to drill the holes to go ahead and put these together. So let's get started. I'm going to crank these down to use these pieces, which will bite into the wood, and it will work with the square part of the carriage bolt. It'll give it more stability, so I don't want it to spin inside the tray. So we're just trying to give it a little bit of a better reinforcement. I was struggling putting all of this together, so I built the chassis to tighten everything down and make sure everything fits. There are some serious tight fits in these before I put the tray back on. One of my main challenges that I had was this bolt. So because I added this wedge, it put another, I don't know what that is, 1.5 inches on top of it. So I only had a 4-inch bolt, and there just wasn't enough between this layer. So the tray will go here. There's a layer here, this black piece. I built an additional yellow piece here that added more, and of course the leg added some depth. Then I have a washer, a locking washer, and the bolt. So I had to go run and get longer bolts. Got this front together. I've already tested for the wheels. Everything looks good there. I've got all the right parts. I will have to drill another hole in here. Actually, it's going to be probably up front here. For the brackets, we'll attach here to go up to the front of the tray to provide support. It doesn't go through one of these bolts like it did for the other wheelbarrow. All right, so I'm gonna probably just do a little touch up here on some of the paint, and then hopefully we'll get ready to actually really this time assemble this thing. looking way, way better than when we originally got it. So we're gonna call this baby done. We're gonna get them delivered over now to the ranch and get their thoughts on it. But they are ready to go for this next big project coming up. So this wraps up the series on the wheelbarrows. This was wheelbarrow number 1, and the grate that I have on top of it is just a 1/4 inch hardware cloth, and I use that for separating rocks from all the dirt when I'm doing irrigation. I've got the same thing on the second wheelbarrow that our neighbor gave to us. And then here's the third wheelbarrow. What a huge difference on the white one, and check out the fourth one. That thing's looking badass. So, love the freaking yellow tires, but hopefully this will get some good use. We'll get some film of it, but this wraps the whole series up for wheelbarrows.
These are Christmas presents for our wives.
Oh, really?
All tightened. The wood is treated.
Wow.